Hi, this is Kathy from Savory Pixels, and today I'm going to make just a really good, simple American beef stew. I'm going to start by cutting up a roast. I used bottom round roast, boneless, and just cutting it up into chunks, which I'm now going to dredge in flour, which is had a little pepper added to it, and then I'm going to saute in hot oil. Place the floured beef cubes in the hot oil and just brown them on the outside, and do it in small batches. I have not quite 3.5 pounds of beef, because I'm making a big batch. The other nice thing about stew is it freezes really well. Brown it on the outside and then put it aside while you cook them and put all the meat in small. To the cooking onions, I've also added a couple cloves of chopped garlic. What you want to do at this point is get everything cooked and transparent, because then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start making the gravy and then cooking the stew. As soon as the onions are done, I'm going to deglaze the pan, which is going to remove the baked on bits at the bottom of the pan. You use a liquid to do that. Some people like water, some people like beef stock. I really like beer. And I'm going to use the equivalent of a 12-ounce jar of Jersey Girl beer, which has gone flat, which I think is going to make this beef stew really, really wonderful. I poured the Jersey Girl beer into the pan where I cooked the beef and the onions. And right now I'm just waiting for it to bubble up and start boiling. When it does that, it's going to begin to remove the cooked on bits on the bottom of the pan, which are called the fond. And at that point, I'll start adding in the rest of the ingredients to make the stew. Stew is not hard. It takes time, it takes a little bit of waiting, but it's not really hard, and it's also one of those recipes that it's really easy to double and freezes really well. Pan is deglazed. You can see how the beer has turned this lovely, meaty looking brown. That's because it's picked up all those wonderful meat juices on the bottom. Now we're going to start making the beef. Now we're going to start making the stew. I'm going to layer in the sauteed onions that I cooked, and then on top of it, add the beef that I already cooked, and then cover and let the whole thing steam. I will probably have to add more liquid, in which case I'll probably add in beef stock. Here is the beef and the onions and the beer and the stock cooking together and make the gravy. You can see how quickly it's boiling. I've just turned it down a little bit because I don't want it to be at a hard boil, because that's when the gravy sticks. But what you do want to do is reduce it a little bit. So I'm going to let this sit for another probably about 10 minutes or so. And in the meanwhile, I've chopped up the veggies that are going to go into it. Potatoes, carrots, celery, including the tops. You want to add the tops of things that give it a great taste. I'm also going to add in frozen peas and a can of mushrooms. If I had fresh mushrooms, I would have sauteed them and added them at the very end. Here's the beef and onions in the beer and a little bit in some beef stock, and I've also added a bay leaf. Again, everything you want to add to make this, you want to add flavor. That flavor, that richness is what gives the stew that wonderful taste on a cold, rainy afternoon. At this point, what you're going to do is you're going to cover the stew and bring it to a boil to begin to cook the meat. When it hits a boil, turn it down to a simmer. The meat and the onions have cooked, and they made a nice gravy. Now I'm adding in the potatoes, the carrots, and the celery that I've already cooked. And that's going to take about another 40 minutes to cook through on a nice low heat, covered. That's the other thing about stew. Once you get it started, it's not that much work. It's a little bit of maintenance. Here's the beef stew, pretty much done actually. The root vegetables, the carrots and potatoes, are cooked. All I'm going to do now is add, like I said, a small can of cooked mushrooms and probably about 1.5 cups of frozen peas just to finish it off. Here's the beef stew, all done and ready to eat. I added some spices as I was cooking. I typically add dried thyme, garlic, pepper, a little bit of salt, paprika. This time I also threw in some fresh parsley that I had, which would be a really good addition to this as well. And you can experiment with different herbs to see what you like and see what works for you. This whole thing from beginning to end, this big, huge pot of stew, which is probably meals for a couple days for most families, took me beginning to end just over 2 hours. Not hard to do and delicious. This is Kathy from Savory Pixels, and thanks for joining me.